everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Challenge Runs in the Binding of Isaac episode post-half-millennium. Sorry, post-half-willennium. Anyway, we are just going to do a vanilla run today for a couple of reasons. One of them is I might sound a little bit different. That is actually because, well, there's a couple of reasons for that, actually. One is that I just got back from Sweden about 24 hours ago. Now, that's a long time. I mean, that's a day. At last time I checked anyway, but I am a little bit sick and a little bit jet-lagged as well. So if my voice sounds a little bit hoarse, you know that when I travel, especially to gaming events, I have a tendency to, get a little bit ill. It happens after PAX almost every single time. There's a reason for that. You got a lot of gamers getting in, very up close and personal with one another. I didn't mean, like, me and the dudes from Paradox were boning or anything like that. All I'm trying to say is, you got people very close together, you're sharing mice and keyboards and game pads and food and sometimes the beauty of love as well, and you have a tendency to maybe pick up a few more pathogens than you otherwise normally would. The other one is, or the other reason I might sound different, is because I am back on the Northernlion East computer, which has finally made its way over to Vancouver now that I am in a better place. I know it sounds like I just died or something like that, but no, I'm in a better living situation than I was before. So, yeah, it might sound slightly different. Hopefully you'll just get used to it again, and I promise this should be the last time that there... Oh, that's not the secret room for some reason. I promise that this is the last time that there will be any kind of major change like this for at least, another 2 or 3 days. Apparently I have a tendency to uproot a little bit, but in any case, let us... By the way, this is the same apartment that I moved into like 2 weeks ago. It wasn't like I moved again after that. There's nothing wrong with this place or the situation. My favorite character from Jersey Shore. I say character, not person, because, let's be honest. I don't know why I'm talking about Jersey Shore. I've never even seen it. It's such a poser. So we're gonna just murder these flies. We're gonna kill the Duke of Flies. Now, it has been... oh my god, I didn't realize the rock was there. It has been about, not 2 weeks, like a week and a half since I played Isaac, so I don't necessarily foresee things going amazingly here. That is a good reroll, though. Actually, it could have been a bad reroll. You never know what those pills could have been, but I didn't want to risk it. But yeah, so, whenever this happens, there's a tendency for things to maybe be a little bit off the rails, maybe a little bit poorer Isaac play than one might normally be used to, but I'm going to do my best to make sure that I'm going to play at a consistent level. I'm not going to say a high level, because, that would be... Let's not kid anybody here, but we're going to do our best to at least make sure that we have some fun here. Now, teleport is not going to be conducive to giving us that fun, I would say. But we're going to move onwards. Now, in terms of my illness, a lot of people... you get both kinds of people. I mean, it's a cliche to say there's two kinds of people in the world, but, it's almost always true as long as you structure it the phrase properly. But there are two kinds of people in the world. There's people who, when you tell them you're sick, they're like, oh, get well soon. And then there's people when they're sick, they're like, I don't care, man. Just make the videos. And you know what? As much as I love the sympathy, I do kind of appreciate the people who are, like, just demanding more videos, because I want to record them as well. And it gives me an excuse to kind of be like, I already work around the clock. You know what? We will take a quarter. And I will use that to go to the shop on this floor. So don't worry about me. I'm not, I don't have tuberculosis or, consumption or anything like that. I will be okay. I always thought when I was, well, not younger, but a little bit younger than I am now, that when they would say in, like, the 1800s that people died of consumption, I actually thought that was just a clever way of phrasing that they had, like, alcoholism and they died of cirrhosis or maybe, like, alcohol poisoning. I did not realize it was actually just the other name for tuberculosis. There you go. You can learn something new every day in Northernlion's Binding of Isaac series. I should start just doing like a Snapple fact of the day. I bet that would play huge with the Vsauce crowd. In any case, that's not me insulting Vsauce either. I think they make very interesting videos, for better or for worse. Mostly for better, although I do sometimes feel like I saw this on Art Science yesterday, so why am I taking the information? I mean, I'm not getting the information direct from the source. Did I seriously not realize that the shop was over on the far left? It's just one of those things that, it's like Reddit itself. It's repackaging primary sources into more digestible material. Nothing necessarily wrong with that. I mean, in fact, that's kind of what I'm doing here, Why watch the game when you could just play it yourself? Oh god, have I just destroyed my own business? No, we are going to buy the 9-volt, of course, and why don't we just clear out the shop, to be quite frank with you. I definitely needed to buy the heart because I've been playing absolutely abysmally. For some reason, I've lost a lot of health, considering we're only on the cellar part 2. I think getting into and beating Mom should be like our micro goal for this video, because I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't end up working out all that well for us. But let's see what we've got going on in here. We got Pin. It is a champion version of Pin, but I should be able to destroy him nonetheless. And I'm hoping for, ideally, on this run, we want to get an HP upgrade, because I'm going to need that kind of extra tolerance to failure. I'd like to get a deal with the devil as well. I mean, that's not necessarily unusual in terms of my desires for this point in the game, but that is definitely what I would like right now. Now, I still don't know exactly the mechanics of the deal with the devil room. I am definitely going to re-roll that range upgrade, though. You know, Pageant Boy might be better than the range upgrade in this case. It's going to take us closer to buying a second item from the shop anyway. But what I was going to say is, mechanically, I don't 100% understand the way the deal with the devil room procs yet. The way, the conditions you have to fulfill to have a good chance of it. I know there's a probabilistic aspect to it, and that is based on how you do on the boss room with respect to not taking damage, and how you do on the floor with respect to not taking damage, but my point is, I don't know if that is tied to, because I don't know if it's like a mob trap room kind of thing, where it's like, oh, you don't have full heart containers, so your chances are much lower. Like, what if you have half of a heart, and you've had half of a heart for the entire floor? Does that give you lower or higher chances of getting the boss room, or the same, or getting a deal with the devil room, sorry, or the same, as if you had full hearts the entire time? I don't know, that's what I'm trying to get at here. So, I went into that boss room with lower health, but I also didn't take any damage, so I kind of thought that it would, give me a decent chance at it regardless. Now, you know that I want to buy the ladder. That is 100% for sure. We definitely want to check out this mob trap room with the golden chest. I don't really like it as much as I used to, but it might still end up working out okay for us because, you know, this extra heart could turn into 2 cents in an arcade or something like that, or 4 cents, or, you know, an HP upgrade, or something even greater than an HP upgrade if I chose to reroll the blood bag, which I never would, but, you know, hypothetically I could if I wanted to. And how are we in terms of strength on this run so far? Average, maybe slightly above average, because, you know, the meat gives us the tears and the HP upgrade, which are both useful upgrades. Rainbow Baby is also a pretty nice upgrade, sometimes anyway, but I don't necessarily know that we are in a position where I would be concerned about the end game yet, should I say. But in any case, let's just murder this dude. And then we'll be able to leave, and hopefully they will drop 2 more cents, because the earlier we get that ladder, the better. By the way, in the last, well, one of the last videos where I got the ladder, I mentioned, like, someone should quantify how much oh, now we've got an interesting situation, but I digress for now. I mentioned that, you know, someone should quantify all the items and consumables that I got as a result of the ladder. And then see if it actually is quantifiably worth it to pick up the ladder, at least in that situation. Oh, of course, now after I've used 2 keys, I get the golden key. And someone did, and it actually turned out to be very, very beneficial. It was something like I gained like 3 keys, 7 bombs, like 8 cents or something like that. So obviously you can see the ladder might not give you a much better chance of winning the game, but it does pay for itself almost every single time. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take Robo Baby. And I should shoot all the poop in here, because this would actually change my decision. Robo Baby, another nice upgrade, especially, you know, if I end up picking up a Mom's Knife or a Brimstone or something. Having Rainbow Baby and Robo Baby, which is a surprisingly difficult sentence to put together there, will actually allow me to take out flies more easily and other enemies that are quick and get up in my face. So, I don't necessarily want to do this, but I think the best course of action for me is to play Judgment here and hope that I get an item quickly. I will pick up this heart right away. And we'll save that other heart just in case there's a blood bank, which I doubt, but I'm really hoping that this guy pays out soon. Even if I end up spending 11 cents and I only get consumables, I'm not going to be too sad about it. But instead we got an HP upgrade, which is awesome. Now, we still don't really have enough bombs, because I would love to get more bombs in order to be able to produce a secret room, basically out of thin air. But for now, we might have to forego that ladder. Which is a shame, because, you know, what's more valuable, an HP upgrade or a ladder? I would probably go with the ladder for the most part. It's probably situational, but, you know, again, I haven't run the numbers on that. Someone needs to set up, like, a Binding of Isaac supercomputer to run simulations like this. So, you know, like, we need Nate Silver of the Binding of Isaac to run 50,000 simulations to figure out which is the ideal item combination. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take one last crack at the secret room here, hoping that we find some money. Okay, that's nothing, actually. I'm going to save my other bomb in case we get Tinted Rocks later, because those are probably more valuable than, you know, maybe 3 cents, maybe 9 cents. That was a hell of a good shot from Pestilence. I always feel safe standing there right off the bat, because Pestilence very, very rarely is able to shoot far enough to kill you like that right off the bat. But apparently Troll Engine not pulling too many punches here from the start. Now I'm just going to kind of stay away. I'm not worrying too much about these silkworms. I'm trying to let the, oh my god, I hate when he throws 3 bombs. Except when it kills all the silkworms like that. But yeah, I'm not trying to worry too much about the silkworms. We'll just let those kind of get handled by Pestilence himself. We'll get through here with a cube of meat, which is not a great item, again, because we didn't fight famine on the last set of floors. But again, we're just kind of holding out for an HP upgrade here at this point. And the Eternal Heart actually makes this a lot better. So we still don't have a deal with the devil. And, you know, we'll just figure we got an HP upgrade plus there, basically. And now we are on the Catacombs Part 2. Now, did that last floor work out fantastically for us? I would say no, but it also didn't work out too badly. Is it just me, or have we been getting like a very high percentage of alternate floors lately? Now, it might just be me, because, of course, I've basically forgotten how all of my runs went before I went to Sweden for Paradox's Europa Universalis 4 event this past week. But, you know, at the same time, I feel like that sentiment is there for a reason, you know? I feel like I've been saying, damn, we've been getting the Catacombs a lot. Now, we do have an arcade. The arcade is an interesting prospect for us in this situation. Okay, don't shoot the neutral flies. It's kind of hard to plan this because goddamn Ghost Baby, which sounds like a sweet movie from like the 90s, Ghost Baby keeps like moving differently than myself. Like it doesn't stay perfectly in line with me, which is not conducive to not making these neutral flies pop. But beyond that, the neutral flies keep getting knocked out by the conga line itself. So I don't know, this has been an interesting run so far, and I mean that legitimately. Sometimes I say it's been an interesting run, and I'm just like, just make them think. If you say it's an interesting run, commentary is 9/10 of the battle, and people start to believe it's an interesting run. I'm half joking there, by the way. But this one, it actually has been kind of an interesting run. Maybe just because I'm rediscovering the mechanics of the game after being away for so long. Actually, we've not been away for very long. But, you know, long enough to make a difference. We're gonna re-roll the wooden spoon. Doctor's remote. I don't know why these remotes keep showing up so often. I don't like you, just go away. Sorry, I didn't mean to dredge up some schoolboy memories there. Now we're gonna kill the neutral fly, and then we're gonna kill the other neutral fly. I don't know, those are like my least favorite enemy in the game. I think because whenever I walk into a room, I like take a survey of it, and I'm like, okay, we got conga liners, and we got fire, and that's okay. But the neutral flies are like an enigma that I don't realize until it's too late. So I always like plan to shoot enemies, but instead I accidentally put my fire in the path of some assholes, and then things go badly. Now, speaking of things going badly, this is not going very well for me at all. I kind of want to just, yeah, this should be fine, and I really need some hearts. We need to get we'll go back to the item room after this. I'm just trying to, again, like I'm getting the flowchart of Isaac back in my head. The flowchart of Isaac sounds like a sweet poster you could buy. By the way, yes, t-shirts still coming. A few episodes ago, I mentioned that like pixel art WASD map. Like instead of north, south, east, west, it had, yeah, we'll take 10 bombs. Mostly because we just got to get going. Instead of north, south, east, west, it had like WASD as the compass rose. Again, that idea is totally go nuts, guys. That is my gift to you. Mostly because I think it might be a bad business decision for me to spend like, I don't know, $1,000 designing and then printing that and then have none of them sell. Wish I didn't come into this room, I'll tell you that much. But by all means, if you want to make that map, you just let me know. Oh, are you kidding me? I might actually die here. If I die here, I'll start another run up. I feel like this has been a nice conversation. I'm like getting back to speaking with an old friend that I haven't seen in a little while. Even though for you guys, I guess, you know, there's been like a day between Isaac videos, which even then I don't really like to do that. I mean, I like releasing episodes every day. I don't like to not release episodes every day. It's possible this one just goes up later today, which is Friday, May 10th. Although, again, I have no concept of time due to both the jet lag and, you know, the fact... Oh, that was real close. The fact that when I was in Sweden, it kind of didn't really matter. You just wake up, play Europa Universalis. Everything's gonna be fine. Okay, now I'm coming back down here. Oh, okay, that was really close to my death. I can't believe he only dropped a single penny. I would be very surprised if I didn't die soon. I'm trying to think of how we work our way out of this one, and I think the only course of action I have that makes sense to me is coming down here. Oh, well, that's actually really useful. Now, what I was going to do is use all my money to play the three-headed man on the slot machine to hopefully get some hearts. I could also, I guess, get real risky and play the blood bank and hope that the blood bag shows up, but that would be stupid, I think. Demon Judgment. Also tempting if we could get back to full health. But now I can afford to move on a little bit. Possibly get some consumables or maybe even an item in the shop, you never know. If I end up fighting greed, that'll present an interesting issue. I really need some kind of damage upgrade at this point, I feel. Alright, so, you know, as soon as you mention greed, there's like a plus 20% chance that you end up fighting him. Few people know this, but the Binding of Isaac actually does have vocal support. So if you have a microphone plugged in, they do this specifically to fuck with YouTubers. Obviously, I'm joking there, by the way. You wouldn't think that I would have to make that disclaimer, but, you know, I'm going to save Ed some questioning. you do have to make that disclaimer sometimes. We are now down to 1 heart again, and I am concerned, which I think is a fair reaction for me to kind of have at this point. Again, I beg for mercy. If you've never had jet lag, it's kind of like being really tired and a little bit drunk at the same time, but not like a fresh drunk, like not day 1 drunk where you know, went to the bar, got drunk, and had a great conversation with your friends. It's like a 4-day drunk, where on the end of the 4th day, you're just like, fuck, I hate myself. It's like that, but you're not drunk, so there's no positive feelings about it. Instead, you just fall asleep at 2 p.m. and think you're a big piece of garbage. I'm having pretty good luck with the shop so far. Please be full health. Balls of Steel, that's actually really useful. That is not as good as full health, but it saves me a lot of problems. I did pick up the item from the, what was I going to say? I picked up the item from the item room, which was 10 extra bombs. So I should look for the secret room. And we don't necessarily have to spend more time in here, although it might be a good idea. With 18 bombs, I should look for the secret room. I could possibly re-roll an item there. We've got to be getting very close to the boss room. But we're not there yet. And if I end up spending 4 bombs to get to the secret room, I desperately hope that there is something useful in there, because I haven't really had a whole lot of bombs over the course of this entire run. Kind of been rolling on a little bit more temporary level. So, or, you know, moment-to-moment level when it comes to bombs, anyway. In our secret room, we have 3 cents, which is not ideal. I think our survival here is really going to depend on what enemy we end up fighting in the boss room. Oh, and possibly what rooms we end up, unfortunately, running into before. I'm hoping that we end up fighting... it's actually really shitty. I'm hoping we end up fighting Pestilence, but we can't. So I'm hoping we actually get a lot of health, which is a good start here. And then we end up fighting maybe a Gertie. Gertie could be okay. Now, I just want to kind of hang out here for a second. This should be an easy room, but, you know, step 1 is the hardest part of this, of course. And then we will have a D6 reroll ready here. And more bombs. We could always use bombs to fight the boss here. And actually, this is actually way easier than the Gertie fight would have been. Oh, man, why did you bounce like that? Although, to be fair, we don't actually need to use bombs for this fight, I think, because, you know, there's going to be bomb flies. Which are actually now proving to be kind of an issue for me. But hopefully some of these dudes will explode near the boss, and that will help us out a little bit. I don't understand why he's bouncing around so much. I'm not sure if he's, like, physically hitting something, or if that's just to kind of make him a little bit more unpredictable, and thus make the fight a little bit more difficult. Because as of, you know, if this was just a normal fight, this would probably be a little bit too easy. Alright, I'm getting in tight here. I'm kind of amazed that I haven't been hit so far. Oh, and of course, there we go. But Cube of Meat actually tore him apart there. And I've lost almost all of my spirit hearts. But I'm going to gain some health from this. And this is another situation where that point I brought up earlier about deal with the devil rooms has kind of miraculously made more cogent here. I was like, well, I have spirit hearts now. Does that mean since I didn't lose red hearts, I'm more likely to get a deal with the devil? Maybe, maybe not. What happens if I take Mom's knife? Oh, I just can't? Ah, that hurts so bad. I got to reroll. And, yes, we will have to take this. That actually didn't really cost us that much because my health was so low to begin with. But we'll take Cat of Nine Tails. Does this really improve our chances? I wouldn't say it's a vast increase, but it certainly does give us a little bit of a benefit relative to where we might normally be here. And we're on the depths again, which should be easier than the Catacombs. I really would have loved to have picked up Mom's Knife there. It's a shame that, you know, when you only have Spirit Hearts, you can pick up Red Heart upgrades, or Red Heart deals with the devil. Just fine. Well, maybe not just fine, because it does cost you, you know, all of your remaining health. But when you have only red hearts, you can't really do the spirit heart deal. Although I guess I could have taken, if I took the one deal, then it would have given me the spirit hearts. Then I could have picked up Mom's Knife. But that was, you know, well beyond my mental capacity on the best days. Never mind this day where I'm kind of broken like that Evanescence song featuring that other dude who may or may not be in the world of music anymore. Is Evanescence still making music? By the way, whenever I make a reference to a band, I hope that people out there are like, oh, I like that band, now I feel bad. Don't feel bad about that, man. Everyone has different musical tastes. And to be quite frank, you know, I think everyone goes through a stage where they feel like their musical taste is amazing and they get a little bit snobby about everybody else's. I know for sure that I did. But quite frankly, they're being the dick, so don't worry about it too much. If anyone gets it, I don't care if you're like a 40-year-old man and you listen to Justin Bieber. If that's what, you know, gets your endorphins rushing, by all means, man, enjoy yourself. There is a cynical level of corporateness attached to some of this music, and that's fine. But, you know, it's the kind of thing where apparently it's culturally acceptable for people to be a snob about music and be like, oh, you like Nickelback and Justin Bieber? Your IQ must be single digits. But if someone was like, you know, I really like hamburgers, then if you all of a sudden, oh my god, what happened to his neck? If you were like, oh, hamburgers? I only eat foie gras, you plebe. Like, you would look like an asshole, right? I guess that you can't be snobby about food. You can be snobby about music. And even if you're snobby about movies to a certain extent, you get kind of shit on, like, you know, I've been there as well, and I still do kind of think that there might be something mentally different about you and I if you derive any enjoyment at all, even ironically, from the Transformers films. But at the same time, man, like what you like. People have this tendency to believe, like, people liking bad media is the worst thing in the world. Like, that's what's wrong with the world today. But I think what's wrong with the world today is, I was accidentally just about to quote a Jizza song there. Anyway, this has been a long and winding rant, basically saying, like, you know, if you like Evanescence, you're still cool in my books as long as you're a good dude and you don't, like, kick your dog or anything like that. But seriously, Bring Me to Life is not a good song, so you should feel bad. So I'm gonna pick up this HP upgrade. Are we strong enough to beat Mom? That's a very good question. Are we strong enough to get to Mom? Almost certainly. But I don't think our long-term chances are very good at all, quite frankly. Our extra damage is fine. We can't even get a second cube of meat at this point until the womb, which is really bad news. We kind of need an awesome upgrade from one of these item rooms, ideally. Health down is definitely not going to be what we need there, and that has basically neutralized this floor, unless we can get a better item from the shop. Blue Candle would, you know, make me feel a lot better about our situation. Ghost Baby is going to be able to tear these Zombros apart. Oh, I thought they would die a little faster than that. You know, we do need a kind of like a game-breaking upgrade at this point. I don't know if we're going to get it. I certainly hope so. What do we have in here? The fact that we can, oh, okay, well, it's a crapshoot again. The fact that we have extra charges on our D6 thanks to that 9-volt I picked up actually could end up making an enormous difference here. But, you know, I really hope I'm not in the position where I'm taking the 9-volt down to the chest, because that would be really bad for all involved, except for the troll engine, of course, which would probably score a huge victory over me as a result of that situation. But anyway, we've got Zombros again. This is a fairly hard item room, or is it not item room, mob trap room, all things considered. But again, picking up Ghost Baby means that we have a little bit of an advantage over here. Not just because he can go through the zombies, but because of the range that he has as well. Well, you know, it can't be a second health down pill. It could be a luck down pill, which again, as Green mentioned to me a little while ago, actually might be a good thing, so who knows. We'll re-roll this again. Mini Mush, I'll take it. Speed plus range upgrade, not the greatest upgrade we could possibly get. I do think it increases our rate of fire as well, even though that is not explicitly stated. So I like picking up Mini Mush. I think it's a good upgrade. I really should not have been hit by these guys, but we are down into Red Heart territory only. So we're still much better off than we were on the last floor after I, you know, for a while was just on one heart and quite frankly was like 80% sure we were going to have to start another run because things were just going off the rails. Ace of Spades, good trinket, a little bit too little too late on the trinket front, but I'll take it. Of course, because it's not like I got anything better to take at this point, but we will have to abandon that for the Polaroid in the very near future. So, you know, Ghost Baby is going to continue to be my diamond, well, not diamond in the rough, he's already a smooth diamond for taking out these Zombros. I really should have been able to dodge that, but again, man, all the patterns in my brain for Isaac have been replaced. Well, not replaced, but they've eroded a little bit. High Priestess, really good card. Maybe our luck is turning up now that we got that luck down pill. And the Chariot, you know, that's something we'll use on this floor because I want to take the High Priestess card with us. It's not worth using on this room. It's very rare for me to exercise some, start using that card judiciously because I really just wanted to pop it right away. My modifier to hastiness was quite high, but we'll use the Chariot on this room to make it a little easier. And we'll pick up the Hermit card free of charge, and we might as well use that after we go to the library here just to see if we get anything useful. You know what? Book of Belial is super useful. Let's pop the Hermit card now. That'll allow us to get the blue candle. All right, things are turning out better now. Do we know what this... Oh, well, I shouldn't have... The candle's better than Book of Belial in this situation. Let's keep taking these luck down pills. I'm interested. It's a shame we didn't really get to use Book of Belial, but blue candle is going to be much better for us. And more than that, it was specifically the exact item I asked for, so I felt like I would have been kind of an asshole if I just ran away from it. But yeah, Book of Belial was fine. Either way, I was getting rid of the D6, so I don't feel too bad about using that last charge kind of aimlessly, shall we say. So I guess at this point I just get the High Priestess card and get the fuck out of Dodge, because I'm done with this floor. Just watch out for the creep. And if I was feeling better, I might try to do a Tom York, falsetto. That's another luck down pill. I almost feel like just keep spamming these, man. I think the way that this mechanic is supposed to work is that you get more chest drops when this happens. Chest drops in the same sense of, I gotta go because I got me a drop top, and if I get the luck down, I can make the ass drop. I should have said chest drop on that. Anyway, again, Ice Cube and Jizza references abound. Probably a lot of people out there think I'm saying some gross, sticky man juice word when I say the Jizza, and to those of you who think that's cool, man. I don't really have any rebuttal to that, especially after that musical tirade I went on. Judgment, you know what? Sure, I didn't take the High Priestess card. Oh, it's Demon Judgment. I didn't take the High Priestess card with me because I'm an idiot. But again, I beg for your forgiveness. Range up. Okay, you know what? I'll play this guy 3 times. No, I won't have to, but I felt good about that. A little bit more confident, again, as a result of the blue candle that we have here, which I should probably be using a lot more often. Also, we're doing a little bit more damage, but that's not a result of anything that's happened recently. That was really close. That's just a result... actually, it is a result of us getting the mini-mush, I guess. So, is everything coming up Millhouse? Well... 70% Millhouse? I would say 70% Millhouse, which is like a Martin from The Simpsons. Is Martin nerdier than Millhouse? Is that the joke? I think if you're gonna break it in traditional like nerd geek paradigm, Millhouse is a dweeb. Martin is a nerd and probably a snob as well. Ralph obviously has some kind of biological or mental issue. I don't know. 70% Millhouse might just be like a Lisa or something because she's cooler. Anyway, this is totally irrelevant. Okay, so now I have a second chance to get that coin purse, which might be a good idea. We know what a lot of the pills do, so it kind of seems worth it. And you know what? I am going to get real dangerous Darkwing Duck style here. What I want to do, I want to get enough money to buy the coin purse. This is fine. I'm a little sad I didn't get the blood bag, but mostly I just want to be able to go into the boss trap room and possibly pick up an item there. We're really throwing everything at the wall at this point and seeing what sticks. I can always go back for health there. I'm actually going to take a sip of my... now probably lukewarm or Luke cold. Who's Luke anyway, and why does he get the definition of something being mild? Anyway, that's probably an insult to Luke, but anyway. Northernlion drinking game. Play it early in the morning and take a sip of coffee anytime I say, but anyway. Or we're gonna move onwards here, or so we're just gonna kill these guys. I'm just trying to think of things that this douchebag says all the time. It's always weird for me when people like mention enjoying some of my catchphrases, because I'm like, it's flattering, of course, but at the same time I'm like, these catchphrases are basically just things that I repeat like Rain Man when my when my commentary just falls apart. I'm like, I need something to bridge the gap. I need a conjunction, and it's an expose into my inner psyche. What am I even talking about? I feel like my commentary has gotten so disjointed in the Binding of Isaac stuff. Because it is just like pure stream of consciousness, and it is in a strange way a more personal window to my soul than I would have originally anticipated it would be. Not to say it makes me uncomfortable and you guys are getting a glimpse into the person that I am. You're more getting a glimpse into the nightmarish hellscape that is my inner psyche. I can't believe I walked over the spikes there. But now we have enough money to get the coin purse. We're basically just doing this to fuck with the random number generator and see if it'll eventually spit out something that does something very well for us. We're gonna get 2 luck down pills, which again I'm gonna take because that's the way Dad did it, that's the way America does it, and intellectual property theft. Friends till the end, not that good. What's our other card? The Devil. Well, it was fine. It was worth a try at least. It's not gonna end up, turning the Earth on its axis, but whatever. We've got a nice little assortment of followers here with us. I will give us that. And at this point, I do feel like beating Mom, which, again, probably sounds super awkward to people listening to this outside of my apartment door. But beating Mom is probably going to be an inevitability at this point. The only question is, will I be able to get past that? And that is a question that I cannot even hope to know the answer to at the start here. We did pick up Brother Bobby, in case you're an audio Binding of Isaac listener instead of a viewer. That's totally fine with me. So now we have Brother Bobby, Rainbow Baby, Ghost Baby, Single Cube of Meat, Bomb Bag, and that's it for followers. But that's a lot of followers. It's more followers than I have on Twitter. Scumbag Northernlion subtly working a Twitter promotion into his Binding of Isaac Let's Plays at episode 501. You gotta get that revenue stream pumping, man. Twitter is not actually a revenue stream. But yes, twitter.com/NorthernlionLP. Follow me for all sorts of weird nonsense and streaming announcements. Whatever, man. I'm not pimping my own channel and my own videos. It doesn't make any damn sense. 2 more Spirit Hearts. A 2 of Hearts, which is actually going to take us back to full health. 2 more keys. And, well, that was actually a very good return on investment for that room, I would say. And we've got to be getting very, very, very close to the Mom fight at this point. Now, have we missed anything on this floor? Might be a library, although no book I could be offered would probably mean more to me than the, oh, that was like a tactical fly, a homing, heat-seeking fly from that human popcorn. But, yeah, it would be a tough sell for me to get rid of Blue Candle at this point because my lack of damage defines me so much that the Blue Candle is basically a necessity if I want to have chances of succeeding. 2 of Spades seems like an... I should have picked up the other key first, but that does give us 15 keys, which should, in all likelihood, last us till the rest of till the end of the game, which, could be anywhere from 5 to 25 minutes from now. Although I'm very much hoping that it is a little bit earlier, for better or worse, so that I could, get a little tea inside of this nasty little throat here. I always get self-conscious worrying that, like, if you guys hear that I'm stuffed up with mucus right now, is that gross? I know people get grossed out by, like, if I was to do a big old phlegmy, like, something like that right now. That wasn't legitimate, by the way. Even if it was, I wouldn't tell you, so let's just move onwards and forget that ever happened. Now, I do have this Devil card. Red Mom doesn't really worry me, so this is a situation where I would likely end up just saving it. It's actually, Red Mom is not the ideal Mom for us to fight here. I think, ideally, we'd want to fight the regular Mom, because then the Candle would have more time to kind of do its dirty work every time the foot came down. But this is going to work out fine for us, We're fast enough to dodge the shots, assuming they come in from the right angles. And we're fast enough to hit her with the Candle on occasion, which doesn't really do as much damage as I would like, again, because it doesn't really stick around all that long. But still, I'm pleased with this so far, as I should be, considering Mom is almost dead, and we have taken literally no damage. So we're going to get rid of Ace of Spades, which is a shame, because those playing cards, those bicycle cards, if you will, have done a lot of good stuff for us. The Coat Hanger is not a crazy good upgrade. Strong enough to keep me alive, though. And we're going to head down to the womb with no map, no compass, not crazy damage. It's actually utero as well. So, that 70% millhouse, maybe we're looking at like a 55% millhouse now. 55% millhouse sounds like either the worst scotch in the world, or like a malt liquor that you would drink out of a plastic bag, or like it's something you would barter with a prostitute. You want a millhouse, but you don't quite have the funds. And obviously a millhouse has got to be weird, right? Like she doesn't want to do it at all. Tammy's head, interesting, but sadly I can't take it. What would be an interesting idea for an item? How about a Tammy's head that is a passive, and every time you get hit, it shoots out 6 shots in like a circular pattern. It's not circular, but a pinwheel pattern, if you will. That'd be really cool, because that's one of the easiest ways I think to come up with new items in the Binding of Isaac, is just take like an existing active and turn it into a slightly less good passive. At least most of the time, slightly less good. Anyway, I'm not gonna say go bother Ed to put that item in the game. What I will say though is that I think it'd be pretty neat. It would be a nice variation on the theme, shall we say. So far, this floor has gone really well, which is surprising to me because we don't really have superb advantages in terms of health. Not great in terms of damage. Mostly my damage is a product of the fact that I'm not even using the candle nearly as much as I should. Mostly my damage is a product of the fact that I'm firing very quickly. Balls of Steel, that's a very good pill. And, in terms of my kind of intangibles, I use that for lack of a better word, because they're not really intangibles, but Blue Candle's a really good item. That's probably the biggest strength that I have right now. If I could actually learn to use it a little bit more often, that would be better. But I don't really think we have anything that puts us over the top at this point. But at the same time, we also don't have any insanely negative factors. So I don't think there's going to be like a God or Dameron or something like that, where everything just falls apart. I think it's just going to slowly erode. We're not going to die of, like a car accident here. We're just going to die of old age or, something that just erodes your health, if you will. Not to make things too dark there at the end. But let's move onwards here. We could end up... I mean, I guess ideally on this floor, I would like to fight... I don't really want to fight death, but I want to get the second cube of meat upgrade. Otherwise, this first cube of meat is not really that beneficial. There's probably things that would bring us a better return on investment if we fought, you know, the Fallen. We could possibly get an awesome Mom's Knife or Brimstone or, you know, anything. The Nail, which I probably would not take. But I think the most likely... The intersection between most likely and best is probably on death at this point. So that actually worked out really well. That was a very last-minute candle firing there. 2 keys to open a golden chest. I'm lucky enough to be at the point where that is a good value proposition for me, even if, sadly, we don't really get anything out of it. That is not the secret room. The only reason I'm looking for the secret room at this point is I'm like, fuck, man, I need a 1-up, I need an Ankh, or I need an Epic Fetus or Fetus in a Jar if I'm going to make this work. And the more money, you know, I usually kind of do look a gift horse in the mouth here and say that's not really all that useful. And it isn't. Well, now it is, because we have Judgment. That's actually what I was just going to suggest, actually, is that if we find a Judgment, it actually could be beneficial for us. Or it could be, you know, useless. He could blow himself up here. He could give us bombs, which are not super valuable at this point when we already have 30 of them. But mostly, I'm hoping he gives us an HP upgrade or some kind of dope tier effect, which has happened before, don't get me wrong. The extra bombs, again, we're not going to use our money on anything else, so I'm not going to bitch about this not being the best use of our funds. I can't even see him anymore because the babies are just swarming him. And all he's given me so far are bombs, which is very strange. Okay, there's a key. If he doesn't actually pay out anything in like the 31 cents we had, I am going to be a very sad panda here. Well, no, he just continues to give me bombs and keys. We're down to... I can't believe this. Okay, if he hadn't paid out there, I'm glad that he did, don't get me wrong. But if he hadn't, I'm pretty sure that would have been the most money I'd ever spent on Judgment without getting a... Any kind of like solid item in return. Again, the consumables are fine; they're useful. You know, every time I complain about getting consumables, I should remember that there have been situations where I had like 0 keys over the course of the entire game. But still, you know, it's not what I needed. If we're gonna quote Rick Okachek. Back it up. Good. We're gonna drop a bomb here and pick up hopefully some Spirit Hearts. Well, Mom's Pearl, which I can't take. Should make like a Pirates of the Caribbean 5 and. You know, Ed could come on as like a script writer or some kind of, well, animator or something, and it could be, you know, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of Mom's Pearl, because they already did the Black Pearl, so, you know, why not mix it up a little bit? I actually don't know anything about the Pirates of the Caribbean. That might feel like my least favorite joke from this entire series so far, but that wasn't a joke, man. We're gonna spec that shit out. 2016, get ready. More keys, more bombs. I don't really want anything from the library, but I can't imagine this key not being worth it on at least some level. Basically, I'm like, yeah, Book of Sin or Book of Revelations will be in there and we'll pick something up. Sure, you could make the argument that the health down pill is probably not what we needed at that specific moment, but, you know, you can't always get what you want. We're going to make our way over here now. This has been a long floor, but we have finally hit the boss room, and I don't see anything stopping us here, unless it's like Champion Bloat. Double Loki is certainly not going to be what ends this run. I think they actually do have Loki's health for this. Like, each one of these has the health of 0.5 Lokis, which makes him very easy to kill, because Loki himself already pretty low on health. And we get the bandage, which is actually an awesome heart upgrade. So again, this is my coffee break. I hope you've enjoyed the interstitial that we had there. What do they call it? I used to have a really good name for that. It's not interstitial, it's the vignette. Yes, okay. Trying to remember my own overly... decadent language. That was a completely unintentional joke there as well, if you saw it. But anyway, let's take out these lasers, and you know, the game's not being, to our credit, we're surviving, and the game's not making it super easy on us. Like, the fact that we have the candle makes a difference, of course, but we've been doing, like, almost all alternate floors. We had the Depths Part 1, the Depths Part 2, but we had both Catacombs. I think we had one cellar, which doesn't make a huge difference, but, you know, it affects things. And then we've had both Uteros. Now... I mean, to be fair, thankfully we didn't get the Necropolis, which might actually be like, for its point in the game, it might be the proportionally most difficult alternate floor in the game. You know, only because you can't get like an alternate chest or an alternate or alternate, what's the other one? Cathedral. Why am I losing all my Binding of Isaac IQ? Maybe because yesterday I spent 14 hours on airplanes. Let's see. Hopefully Judgment again. I mean, the fact that he's been showing up a lot is awesome. I wonder if Luckdown also increases the rate at which Judgments spawn. My guess would be no, but, you know, stranger things have happened. Hearts, good. Keys, good. Yeah, Infestation, I'll take it. I don't intend on getting hit a lot. I'm not even going to bother probably wasting a health to get that key, because what's the point? I think the candle actually exploded that green bomb in the air, which is a horrifying synergy that I actually did not know before. So hopefully we will... Oh, Tinted Rocks? Sadly, no. But we're going to fight Mom's Heart here. I don't, again, foresee that anything could possibly end up stopping us. Unless I have one of the worst Mom's Heart fights I could possibly imagine. And we are still saving this Devil card for use against Isaac on the next floor, no question. Now, what we want to do here is fall into a beautiful rhythm where, you know, it's not going to work on every series of items. But we want to drop a bomb and then immediately hit them with the candle as well, which should allow us to do a ton of great crowd control. Don't use the air. There we go. And it should do a ton of damage beyond all else to Mom's Heart. And she'll be doing the permanent bomb shuffle pretty soon here. So hopefully I can avoid getting hit by these laser bullet flies. And with another drop of the candle in here. I think I've taken 2 hits here, which is not great for a Mom's Heart fight, but at the same time, I'm very pleased with myself. And it's up to the Cathedral, which I did not in a million years think that we would get back here on this run. Now, the thing is, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, it's because it seems like there's a trend where I've been a little bit cynical about my chances, then I do better. If I'm a little bit optimistic about my chances, things have the potential to possibly go worse. But I will say, on the surface, it might not look like we have a great series of items for taking out Isaac here, except, well, to set the stage, I mean, we have Ghost Baby, or sorry, Demon Baby, or Robo Baby, which is going to be doing a ton of shooting, which is always bad. Against Isaac, but we also have the blue candle, which allows us to absorb those shots. And we have the devil, which allows us to kind of magnify the power of our own shots. So, you know, who knows how this is going to work out. It's far too early to tell, especially since I might end up getting eroded on the Cathedral. The Cathedral's a huge step up in difficulty from the actual room, even the utero. So hopefully we end up being able to make this happen. Friends to the end, good card. I'm going to pop it right away. It only created... Oh, there we go. I thought it only created 1 fly, which would have been disappointing. But I had to use it right away because I wanted to make sure that I stuck with the Devil card, which is going to be very useful for us. That was very lucky. Just play it cool. Oh, I didn't think I'd get hit there. But, I mean, every time I got hit, there's a silver lining here, which is that we get new flies created. That was actually a pretty sweet shot there. I'm very frightened about our chances now. I've noticed, you know, for a while I was like, this is going to be pretty easy. Maybe we have a chance of beating Isaac, you know, now after losing half of my health, or perhaps even more than half of my health pretty quickly. I don't necessarily feel that same sense of confidence, but hopefully we'll be able to find a way to improve our health. I don't think there's a full health pill in the rotation. I think we would have seen it by now. This has gone fairly well. I mean, this last half of the Satan fight, or sorry, the Death fight. I don't know why I make that mistake every single time. I guess Satan and Death are, you know, brothers from another mother. Can we just end this horseplay here? Sometimes, you know, my subconscious or automatic accidental joke-making ability makes me laugh. Mostly because the joke is not good, but it's lame, and that's awesome that it just came from my brain accidentally. Get it? Horseplay, because he's kind of like a horse. Anyway. Total accident, I promise you. There is a Tinted Rock here, which gives me a brief glimmer of hope. Probably not too much, you know, quantifiable improvement in my chances, but still... now I always forget how many. I think it's after the next one. No, it was not, but we ended up not getting killed there regardless. And we ended up killing him. And we got a red heart, and we get some more bombs, and our Tinted Rock contains a small rock, please. No, it contains a spirit heart, which is fine. Functional upgrade in our health, and I should really not take damage against this Widow, especially since the big dumbass here got himself locked on that rock. Keep it locked to the rock sounds like something you'd say if you were working promo for a radio station. I often wonder, like, subconsciously how much that actually helps when it comes to marketing. I wonder, like, because nobody's gonna say, like, I listen to that radio station because they say keep it locked to the rock and that rhymes. But I wonder if subconsciously that creates some kind of, like, cleverness affinity in your brain, and then you're like, ah, you know, these guys are smart. I'm gonna watch their radio station more. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know anything about marketing, and I think the less I know about marketing, the better, because then you don't get the temptation to be like, all right, become a lion cub today. and do kind of things that I consider shady like that. At least not intentionally. But at the same time, you know, it helps to learn about marketing so that you learn, you know, techniques that shady salesmen at furniture and appliance stores might try to do to you. That was my favorite module from like first year psychology that I took at university, and I didn't follow the psychology trend, or not trend, but track too far. But was when they were like, here's some techniques that salesmen might use to try to convince you to do things. Like if they offer you one price and then eventually they're like, oh, sorry, that was a limited time price, now you gotta pay a little extra. You should just tell them to fuck off, basically. But, you know, those things exist in human nature for a reason, I guess. Not a positive reason, necessarily. I'm getting my ass kicked here. I'm pretty sure we're gonna die. If we can get through this is an asshole monster too, don't get me wrong. This monster too is by far the most annoying of all the ones that we could possibly end up fighting. But hopefully... Oh, I walked into him by accident, but we got an extra half heart. And we got another one on top of that. So we actually end up leaving this with more health or close to the same amount of health that we had when we started. So this is our moment of truth. This is our God of Dalmarham. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, because otherwise that's one of those references you can whiff, and then all of a sudden you look like a big dummy. So, you know, we're doing a lot of damage here. We're not taking a lot of damage, although it is always remarkably risky. Now I'm just tossing some bombs in there, because bombs don't actually kind of convey any added risk to us. And in fact, neither does the candle, really. So maybe... I always go through this where I try to fight first. Oh, shit. Okay, now we got problems. Where, like, I try to fight first, and then I realize that the candle is actually the way to go. So I think we're gonna die here, which will continue the trend of me losing against Isaac, unfortunately. Ooh, just kick some bombs in, man. Maybe we can make something good happen here. Oh, okay, that was real close. I got scared. Kick it in. Knock the candle in as well. Now this is where things get rough. Not that they weren't rough before. Oh, okay. Well, I almost killed myself with my bomb there because for some reason I phased through it. But in any case, thanks for joining me on this surprisingly successful journey through the Binding of Isaac. The first run I've done since I've been back in the USA continent. That was a Paul McCartney reference that got botched pretty hard. But in any case, continue suggesting your own challenge runs. I will probably do one more vanilla run just to get back into the swing of things, and it helps build a backlog as well. But then I'm going to get back into doing challenge runs. I hope you guys enjoyed episode 500, even if I did make some mistakes with the parameters of the challenge run. As always, thanks for you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.